Hello folks, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, AEW Here's the AEW Dynamite review from the fall show of AEW Wrestle Dream, which I thought was a pretty solid show on Saturday. But the big thing coming out of Wrestle Dream, we know BCC primarily as John Moxley, Claudio, Pac, Utah, Marina Shafir. Those are the main seemingly controlling the show. And the EVPs, seemingly there's a connection, almost alliance, if you will, between the Young Bucks, Okada, Jack Perry, and the BCC. An unspoken alliance, but nonetheless, we saw, particularly in the Elite versus the Conglomeration, albeit it's not my favorite faction, but nonetheless, them facing each other when the BCC attacked on Dynamite, and while the rest of the crew, Private Party, Daniel Garcia and company went to attack, or fend off the BCC, we saw in the back Garcia confront the Bucks like, what? You guys just letting this happen? It's just, yeah. But yeah, we did get some good stuff coming out of Dynamite. For starters, Adam Cole, MJF. Adam Cole wants revenge. Talked about his promo from earlier this year and talked about how last year when they were banded together, MJF and Adam Cole, turning on him before he turns on him. Talked about MJF being fake and all that, and how MJF made a promo on the big screen, but Adam Cole blatantly said, MJF, you can run, but you can't hide. So simple as that. We did get, so this is unique. So we saw the Outrunners for the last couple weeks. If you guys haven't seen the Outrunners, they've been this tag team that's been on Rampage, mainly on Collision, that have gone over. They kind of got this 80s, 90s vibe about them of a tag team, but they're over. Certainly feels that way, and they obviously got a good reaction. And 0 Hour at WrestleStream, and then last night on Dynamite, it was FTR versus Big Bill and Brian Keith, and the Outrunners made their presence felt. It kind of feels like there's this uneasy almost feud, because in a way they embody each other, similarities in FTR and the Outrunners. So maybe a little feud that can happen down the line. They had almost a bro hug like moment in the middle of the ring. So that was something. And the Outrunners, it's clear that AEW has faith in them to restore, because the tag team division needs work, needs help. And the Young Bucks with the tag titles, it's not been great this recent run. So it's like, could be beneficial to build someone up, like the Outrunners or who else. We'll see. We had Shelton Benjamin make his AEW Dynamite in-ring debut as he went one-on-one with Leo Rush. Talk about a thing of generations. I mean, I remember when I was watching WWE and Sean Benjamin, Charlie Haas were the new kids on the block. You know, just 20 years ago, and then seeing Leo Rush wrestle a number of years ago, and now they're facing each other. Interesting collision of worlds, but Sean Benjamin is in great shape. Very good to see him back in the ring. He was out there with MVP. And yeah, Sean looked good. Rocked Leo Rush a few times with some of his strikes. And finished Rush with his patented T-bone. So, suplex. So, after match, MVP talked about Swerve and talked about how their conversation needs to continue between him and Shelton Benjamin, and talked about Fright Night Dynamite. And Swerve later in the comments said, you know, anytime, anywhere, he's ready. So they announced it, they had a graphic up for Fright Night Dynamite on the 28th or 29th. It will be Swerve Strickland versus Shelton Benjamin. And I'm curious if that's when, maybe not then, but maybe at Full Gear, we could see Bobby Lashley. It's thought. Don Callis and the Don Callis family looks very interesting, I have to say now, for a number of reasons. So first, we saw weeks ago Don Callis and Jake Sig Roberts made that trade for Lance Archer to be with Don Callis' family. So Tony Schiavone had a press conference seemingly for Don Callis for his press conference about his family. So he was out there with Lance Archer and the new Ring of Honor TV champion, Brian Cage. I forget how Brian Cage is with Don Callis, but nonetheless, it's big. So then he welcomed out, because from WrestleStream, the new international champion, Konosuke Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher. And both look badass, you know, just all four those guys in the ring. It was a great visual. So he talked about the tag team titles and talked about how the family needs them and he wants them. So I said, who better go after the tag titles than Brian Cage, Lance Archer? That's unique team, I'd say. And then talked about the new international champion. Takeshita was out there, great to see him with gold. Kyle Fletcher had a hell of a look. So he was out to explain, or so it seemed, why he did what he did with on Will Ospreay, and he said, "Too bad." So Don Callis said, "You guys don't shut up, so you're not going to get an answer." So, yeah. Those four, really, you guys in the family, that's a hell of a look for Don Callis. The other thing that makes this interesting, so we did not see Will Ospreay. We did hear from Ricochet. There was a report the other day that said Powerhouse Hobbs is now clear. Now, take it with a grain of salt. But if he's cleared, first of all, that's great. Second of all, with him healthy, how is he fit with... Because last we saw him, he was a part of the Don Callis family. And, you know, it just... We'll see. Or maybe he goes against the family or goes on his own. Or I don't know, because I love Hobbs' gimmick prior to him getting hurt. So I don't know. So then Mariah May. So we know one of the worst moments of wrestling wasn't her match. It was a great match. But an awkward moment happened after at the press conference and no one wanted to ask her a question. Really. And it just felt odd and awkward for your women's world champion. I mean, I don't know what to say. So, Mariah May was in the back, talked about, well, it's like Thunder Rosa's in the UK, you know, she's beat Willow, but she's getting credit for being a loser or losing her. And then asked Tony for a challenge, someone to step up, and then lo and behold, we see Anna Jay, you know, pop up again, Mariah May's face, and then Christopher Daniels tries to intervene, but he gets hit in the face by Anna Jay. So we found out because at Battle of the Belts Saturday, it will be Anna Jay versus Mariah May for AEW Women's World Championship. It's significant because there's report around that a part of the new AEW deal, it does not include Rampage and Battle of the Belts. If that's true, great. You know, it'll certainly add more significance to Collision. You know, because Collision and Rampage are looked at as secondary shows. And that's an issue. But if you eliminate one of them, then you can certainly add more options towards Collision. Just an idea. Anyways, so this could be the last week we have Rampage and Battle of the Belts. Particularly. So that's the case and good. Because honestly, they haven't done great booking with these Battle of the Belt shows anyway. So, yeah. And just want to say on the record, you know, probably part of the reason why nobody wanted to asked Mariah May a question. Well, it's because, they haven't done crap with her. It's been a sour tolerant. Whatever you want to say, it's just not good. Not interesting. I mean, yeah. So, yep. And then we had one hell of a main event between Jay White and Christian Cage. Jay White defeated Hangman Page in his return match on Saturday's wrestling. And what was a hell of a match, hell of an opener, hell of an ending. And people are complaining, well, Hangman Page, and I get it, because honestly with the work he's doing, to beat him so quickly and potentially that be the end of it, is I don't know. But based on last night, it appears that wasn't the conclusion of this feud. As Hangman Page, similarly to how Christian Cage defeated or helped the Hangman defeat Jay White in the Owen Hart Cup tournament, Hangman Page cost Jay White the match versus Christian Cage last night. And it's like, you look at this match and it's like, well, Hangman has to interrupt because, Christian Cage, we don't know when, but he still has that contract for a guaranteed world title shot whenever he wants it. So you certainly want to keep him looking strong in the process. So a win over Jay White, credit due to Hangman, is certainly a good deed. Now, Hangman, Jay White Part 4, potentially at Full Gear, I'd be up for that, certainly. The only weird thing is Hangman, to get his win back, it's kind of a weird scenario because Jay White just lost. If you're trying to build him up in that main event scene, or again have him lose at Full Gear Hangman, at the same time Hangman, you face that dilemma, you face that rough stream. Do you want to beat him? You already beat him once. Do you want to beat him again? So it's like, I don't know. But it will certainly be another hell of a match. Certainly to look forward to. And while I talk about the positives, I gotta talk about the negatives. Things I wasn't too pleased about for Dynamite. Mark Briscoe and hi guys, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho felt validated after losing to Mark Briscoe at WrestleStream, saying Mark had to cheat to beat him. And they pull up, well, Big Bill getting interrupted, and it's like, by Rocky Romero, it's, I don't know if I'd call that cheating, but nonetheless, here we are. And so, Chris Jericho said he wanted a rematch. Said he wants another crack at the Ring of Honor World Championship. And said it'll be a 2-time. Ring of Honor World Champion, just like his brother Jay. So then, prior to FTR versus Big Bill and Brian Keith, did get a little bit of promo from Mark Briscoe. You know he's always wily. Said that yes, he's beat him, but thing is, his brother's name still comes out of Jericho's mouth. So, wants to beat him again, but got up the ante. So they talked about next week and that they'll have a ladder war for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Again, Ring of Honor World title on the line on Dynamite. Jericho keeps talking about being the Nueve. You see, the problem is Jericho may likely win next week. And the issue, unless Big Bill does something, I mean, I really wish he would break away from Jericho. The problem is, you know, Briscoe won, and I was like, okay, where does he go from here? Where does the belt they go? Well, Jericho's gimmick is about, you know, the fans, you know, getting annoyed of him and doing what he can to be on TV. So it's like Jericho wins next week, and then he's parading around with the title that should not be cared about on Dynamite. And then you have Briscoe, if he wins, well, what good does that do him? So it's like, yeah. That thing is Mercedes Moné versus Queen Ahmad. Queen Ahmad, she's very talented. It's just the thing is they don't showcase her enough, I think, for some to care. I mean, she's friends with Sky Blue, but you get my point. The other thing is Mercedes is in a bit of a program with Chris Statlander. And we get a title match. I mean, what I think irks people a bunch about Tony is he just flies out random title matches week to week when really it's just a simple thing. Yes, it's nitpicking, but calling it a non-title match instead of a title match would certainly feel better. In any event, we got the match and it was short, but was good, was solid. But anyways, guys, that's my Dynamite review for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. It was good, it was solid. Dynamite, we'll see where it goes going forward. You know, I do love how the BCC and the troops of AEW are kind of banding together to go up against. You know, it's crazy how this is much better than how the Elite takeover storyline was. So yeah, we'll see where it goes going forward. But as for now, guys, thank you all. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It's in the box in the corner. Notification bell. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like and a thumbs up. Thank you guys all. See you guys next time. Peace.